Brother Nash, how are you? Please post my story and you can translate it. I am a man who comes from Malawi, but I stayed in Zim for a long time. So I'll send you my confession. You can post it. I always listen to your confessions in Shonam as well, and you can translate to English so other people can listen as well. So this is the story that I have come with here, and I want to know what is going to happen after people would have given me advice. I am a man that comes from Malawi. Please hide my face and do not tell people my real name that I am using here on Facebook. I am a Malawian man that has been living here in Durban. I came to South Africa after I had stayed in Zim for some number of years. When I left my wife in Malawi, I arrived in a place in Zim that is called Marondera. We started working on a farm. We were making bricks and we were selling those bricks. So me and my wife, we then bought a stand in Harare and we started building our house. She then did something bad to me, and I found her with a man that she was cheating with, who was a police officer, and that man threatened to kill me. So I lost my house. And since my wife was the one that had assisted me to get a Zimbabwean ID, this man was saying that he was going to go to KG6 to get my fingerprints deleted and everything deleted because I had been assisted by my wife and her relatives to get an ID. The way that my wife had assisted me was that we went back to her village in Rusape and we spoke with the village headman. So the surname that I was using, it was the surname of the village headman because we were supposed to get married, me and my Zimbabwean wife. When she saw that I had built a nice house, and by then life was going on very good because my father used to give me powerful charms that will make you to have good luck when you are all grown up. He used to put these charms in soft porridge that they would give us to eat early in the morning. So when I left Malawi coming to Zim, I started selling. And when I would sell those bricks, I would start to have business relationships with other people that would come to that farm. And I was now buying gold in Mazoe area. So I had money. I was driving a car and it was necessary for me to have a Zimbabwean ID. But since she saw that now we had made so much money, I made the mistake of sending her to Zimbabwean Open University. She now had a nice degree that she was having. She was doing a teaching as well at another school, and then she decided to cheat on me and they deleted my fingerprints and the ID that I was having. It was now worthless. I could not fight. I could not do anything. Instead of returning back to Malawi to my wife, to this very day, my wife, she sometimes think that I am dead here in South Africa because I just told her that I am going to South Africa, even though we had kids together, me and my Malawian wife. When I arrived in Durban, I got married to a beautiful wife who is a South African because this good luck that my father used to put in our porridge in the morning, it makes women that have money to be attracted to you. So I started working as a gardener in Durban. She was a victim of abuse in her marriage and we started dating. When her husband was at work, we would sleep together and she got the courage to divorce her husband. So after the divorce, things did not go so well in our life, even though she was working in the government. But as a man, I had to do something. For years, I started struggling. I would be selling acham on the street corner and I was not making money. And I was even using my wife's car. I had a dream of me and my wife to start a company after we had gotten married because she told me that she wanted to do the same business that her father was doing when he was alive. He was operating a taxi business and she also wanted to get involved in that taxi business. And I said, we will find money. but we did not have the money because my good luck, it was as if it had ran away from me ever since I had came to South Africa. So I finally found my good luck again, but I found it through TikTok. I want people to listen very carefully, not to follow those advices from TikTok. It was in the year 2022 when I found this other person, but a white prophet, who was saying that he's a magician. So I saw a tutorial where they teach you that if you want fast money, you are supposed to perform some rituals. And I started performing those rituals exactly at midnight. I would have looked for bed droppings, which I would put in water, and then I would go outside with some eggs holding them. This I was supposed to do it when I was totally naked. And according to the tutorial that I saw on TikTok, I had to call out for money 10 times, and I was supposed to say money, money, money 10 times, as well as another name that I do not know the meaning of that name. I am afraid that if you read it, some people will try to do it. So with the eggs naked, with a black candle, as well as a mix of sea salt, and I was supposed to use the bed droppings. I was desperate and I did it. I did it for 10 days, 10, and I would call the name of money 10 times each and every night, but not making a lot of noise, because I would sneak out of the house, not wanting my wife to know that this was what I was supposed to be doing. So I did not know that I was calling a demon into my house, a demon that you can't even control. All that I wanted at that time was money and nothing but money. So after I had done this for 10 days, like, it did not work, and I said, I wasted my time. This thing, it did not work. But in 2023, my business suddenly exploded. I was now supplying this other small Pakistan supermarket. That was when we raised enough money, me and my wife, including a salary. And then we bought our first taxi. It was in July of 2023. Then we bought a second taxi through the bank. So I thought that this thing that I had learned on TikTok, it was a miracle. I did not know that I now had a demon that I had invited into my house. And I did not know that this demon, in order for this demon to keep on giving you money, you are supposed to give it blood. If I had known that this was what was going to be required from me, I would have never agreed to have such a deal with a demon. And I want to make people to know and to understand that you should never do such a thing. If you do such a thing, the demons, they will start to rule your life. The things that were happening in my life, one could not even understand. When my wife would have prepared breakfast for me, I would see that suddenly, when I would have blinked, a slice of bread would be missing from my plate. And when this started happening, I thought that my wife was playing pranks on me. But with the way that this bread will quickly vanish from my plate, I knew that if I would ask my wife, she's someone that is spiritual, maybe she will start to go to sangomas to ask what was going on. So each and every spiritual manifestation that was happening, brother, I would just pretend as if there was nothing that was happening in our lives. I would just pretend as if I do not know anything. So I then went in secret to another sangoma. And when I went to a sangoma from my own country, from Malawi, he then said, "Oh, I see that you have a topology that you invited into your house, but I can't see where this topology it is coming from." I then told him that I did this ritual on TikTok where I was calling out the spirit of money to come and give me quick money, because I wanted to become like a man. I did not want my wife to struggle anymore by taking care of me. And then that Sangoma, he said to me, when you were calling the spirit of money, you were just throwing it out there to just say any spirit that can give me fast money, I invite you into my house. And you did. The Sangoma, whilst I was consulting with him, he then said to me, you are going to lose your daughter. But it turned out that he did not see very well, or maybe his ancestors did not show him very well, because he said to me, you are going to lose your daughter. But I ended up losing my son. I returned back from consulting with that traditional healer. I could not even tell my wife that we were going to lose our daughter in that same year in 2025. I was afraid that if I tell my wife, maybe she could even have a heart attack. So I just remained quiet. I did not tell her anything. I just said, if it is going to happen, it will happen. And if it does not happen, then it does not happen. That was the first time that I started to pray. The night when I went down on my knees, what I saw in my house, brother, Togoloshes are for real. My wife had gone out with the kids to pick up an order at Steers because she was lazy to cook on that night. So I said, since my wife has left me alone, let me just pray. And then I talk to God and I tell God that I do not want this Tokoloshi to keep on hurting me, to keep on hurting my family, and I do not want to lose my daughter, because I did not know that the target was my son, it was not my daughter. I saw a Tokoloshi. It appeared on the bed. It was short. It was like a crippled old man that was standing on top of my bed. Then it disappeared. My son, he passed away a couple of days after that. And I had a dream where I was told that the Tokoloshi I had invited through that TikTok ritual, it came to give me money, and it was going to take the blood, and I was supposed to give it the blood, for it had already blessed me. We buried my son, and the way that he died, it was in a painful way. My wife wanted to go and consult, but I discouraged my wife because I knew that maybe if we go and consult, we might go to a real traditional healer who does not guess, and he was going to say, your Malawian husband is the one that did rituals. We buried him. My wife would cry. Even to this day, my wife, she cries, and it is very painful. So the part that is making me to go so sad, and which has made me to come to your channel, is that 3 days after the funeral, I went to the bathroom. I was sitting on the toilet seat, and then that was when I saw that the water that I had put into the bathtub, because I wanted to soak myself into the water, I then saw that the bathtub, it was not empty, but it was filled with cash. There was no more money. The money had vanished. What made me to look at the bathtub whilst I was at the toilet seat, I heard the sound of someone drinking water really fast, that sound that your throat will make when you are busy drinking water really fast. And then when I turned around, then that was when I saw it. I saw the money, it was there. Where this money had came from, I do not even know, but it was a lot of money. By then, I did not know that it was 400,000 cash. I took it, then I hid it in a towel. And when I went out of the bathroom after bathing, even my wife, she was complaining and she was saying, why are you wet? And I do not want you to use my drying towels, because I have the habit of using a drying towel and just leaving it without hanging it properly for it to dry. So I just threw the towel into one of my drawers in my closet, and I just dumped a jacket on top because I did not want her to see the money. When my wife had gone to bed, I then said that I was just going to the study room because I could not sleep. She said, okay, it's fine. Then I went into the study room. I started counting the cash, and I saw that it was 400,000. It was the money that we used to start another business. My wife does not even know about this, and I'm scared that if she finds out, she is going to kill me. Life moved on, Bro Nash. Now we are in 2026. I went to a powerful sangoma in a desperate attempt to cleanse my house, not that Malawian man, because the way that he spoke to me, have you ever spoken with a sangoma? That is just hopeless. You are speaking with him, what are we supposed to do? Then he's just saying, the situation is hopeless. And I said, let me look for someone that can give me hope. So then I went to another sangoma who said to me, he can help me to cleanse the house. When my wife was at work, then I brought in that sangoma quickly. That sangoma cleansed my house, and then he said everything is going to be okay. I am now paralyzed. That man stole my money and he did not even cleanse anything. When I went out to speak with the Sangomam as he was driving out, where I then heard someone that was laughing inside of the house, but I did not tell the Sangoma. The Sangoma, he was also in a rush to leave my house because I had given him cash, 50K. We sprinkled water everywhere, underneath the bed, hitting the ceiling, the walls, the flower beds, everywhere that you think of. You were saying that this water was going to make the Tokoloshim to become blind when it approaches my house. When I came back indoors, that was when I had a laughter. It was a Tokoloshi that was laughing at me, and it said to me, so you think that this water is going to stop me from doing what I want? And it started laughing, but I could not see it. It was just laughing at me. So at night, that was when I had a dream. In my dream, that was when I was told that my daughter is the next target. It said that it wants the blood of my daughter because it made a mistake. It wanted to sacrifice my daughter in the first place. So right now, I do not know what else to do. It promises me more money. It says, I can give you 1 million in cash. You're going to find it in the same spot 3 days after you would have buried your daughter if you want. I have a second family that I disappointed back in Malawi, a wife and children who are suffering, I know, in the village from where I come from. My wife, my South African wife, she has been living a soft life ever since I came here to South Africa and we got married. So now I am thinking about my family that I left back home in Malawi. My mind and the Tokoloshi has been whispering to me, since my wife does not know about this Tokoloshi who is here in South Africa, how about I do what the Tokoloshi has been whispering to me? It says, sacrifice your daughter and just take the 1 million. I will guide you back to your country and I will just leave you at the Malawian border and you can go and you can enjoy your life. I will never look for you anyway because you would have given me the blood that I wanted. I am asking for help. Is it possible? Can I save myself by giving up one more child and starting over with my Malawian wife? I want your listeners to advise me. I do not want them to be angry at me. If you want a shortcut, do not go to TikTok to do these money ritual tutorials, because what they do not tell you after you would have gotten the good luck, there is something that will happen. You will start to suffer, and when you are suffering, you will be alone. So I do not want anyone else to suffer, because this Tokoloshi, I do not even know if I am supposed to trust whatever that it is telling me that I am supposed to sacrifice my daughter. I do not know what kind of a condition my wife is going to be into after we would have lost our second daughter. I will be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed. They do happen in this world. It came from a translation of a message that our brother sent to us. He is asking for advice. If you do something like that, you would have done something that is truly evil, really evil, but that is his story, let us speak with him in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.